Hey, what's up guys? Everything Apple Pro here. Another year, another unreleased iPhone clone. Today, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest iPhone 12 Pro clones. These are straight out of the factory and they incorporate the new changes Apple is bringing to the iPhone 12. Of course, these guys always like to beat Apple to the punch, and this year is no exception. The presentation's a bit lacking as usual, but let's see how these new clones compare to Apple's iPhone 11 Pro series and how close they come to the actual design. All right, so, whoa, okay, that's new. I've never seen something like that. So this box actually has some depth to it. I like that they're doing something different at least. Gives me hope that on the inside it'll be a little different. 512 gigabytes. Includes an iPhone 12 Pro Max. EarPods with Lightning. Ooh, these guys are a little late. That's not happening this year. And we have one of a different color here. So no matter which color you get, they all come in the same packaging. This one's gold, this one's green, but the exterior is silver. Now, apparently the latest CADs are showing us that we're not gonna be getting a quad camera, but then again, the latest CADs aren't representative of the final product, so that may yet change. What we are expecting is a smaller notch, a quad camera design, a boxier design, more reminiscent of the iPhone 4 series. And oh, okay. Wow, that is, I'll tell you, the presentation's a little better than last year. At least it's not wrapped in bubble wrap. And you get straight to your phone here. The packaging actually is supposed to be super thin on this year's iPhone, about the thickness of an AirPods box. Here's this one. Oh, okay. So I like that it's boxy. Boxy feeling is pretty great. Actually very comparable to the housing swap mods that we've done here on the 11 Pro. And the lenses looking a little small compared to the real deal here. Actually considerably thinner than I thought. And this one actually has a smaller notch, maybe. It's hard to tell. So there's the gold one. Let's take a look at the green one, which according to the rumors shouldn't be happening. It should be navy blue. Okay, so, oh yeah, midnight green. Actually very close to Apple's color. Looks good. So there's that midnight green color. As you can see, flat edges, which feel magnificent in your hand. Now these incorporate a bevel on the edge, which Apple should not have on the final product. The edges will be very reminiscent of the iPad Pro curvature, and this one is showing it more extreme. SIM card trays still in the same place on these models, and it's nowhere near as big as Apple's version will be. This is the Pro Max, actually not as wide, and the camera lens is way smaller than the final product will be. So actually comparing the sizing to the 11 Pro Max here. So yeah, they went off of this sizing, which is exactly the same. So future clones will be a little bit larger. Lens orientation, so even on the latest CAD, it's considered wrong here. This is theoretically how it should be, but these lenses are way too tiny. Still, I like that they're following the protocol, at least, of the latest leaks. So let's go ahead and turn these bad boys on, see which version of iOS 14 we're running, as they're sometimes running a futuristic build. On the inside, have a Lightning to USB-A and USB-A 5-watt adapter, which is loosely incorporated into the box, and EarPods, which should not be here. Now, no Apple stickers, but we do get a SIM eject tool. Haven't seen one of those in a while. This version does not have AirPower in the instruction manual, so a little bit more realistic. These have arrived with different times. Oh, did you hear that? It has the old iPhone 2G swipe to unlock sound. They're bringing back the retro vibes. iPhone 2G sound effects. One more time. Nice. For the money, this feels solid. That's a solid metal border. Very sharp, feels great in the hands. Brightness does not get up very high. And let's see software-wise how advanced they got. The icons are looking a little whack here. YouTube icon looks different. So definitely not iOS 14 icons. Let's see what it's running. So iOS 13.5.1. I feel like Apple wasn't confident enough to release iOS 14 with their new iPhones. It's always a random version of iOS, but the name is iPhone 12 Pro Max here. Pretty much in line with what we've seen before. Let's see if this has haptic touch in the control center. Nope. They do have it on the home screen back before the battery icon was filled in on that menu there. And the camera app, so way old, definitely not anything recent. Screen is very dim, very slow and choppy, only 2x zoom, no 6x even. They tried. So you have this massive chin area here on the bottom, and compared to the current 11 Pro Max display, definitely looking a little bit dated, but considering this is roughly around $130, $140, you know, it's still pretty adequate. When Wi-Fi is off, they call it close here. So not even off, just close. Do these still have more selection than Apple? Seems like they do. As far as the cameras go, they all look fake. I think, yeah, 1, 2, 3, these are all fake. We have one good one on the back. Let's connect to Wi-Fi and get some specs going, although I still feel like they're running the same processor all these years later. All right, so I've just finished the Geekbench test and I'm running Minecraft on this clone. And just to give you an idea of how agonizingly slow this is, it's terrible. So there's lag just walking around without anything of action happening. When you look at the sky, the frame rate gets better. You come down, it starts lagging down here. Another thing I noticed, it's gonna be hard to catch, but looking at the notch, you can tell that the top layer on the glass is a larger notch than what's underneath. I believe the notch ends literally right here, and they just overlay this. It's a little ridiculous. They had to add more fake notch just to match Apple's. It could have been smaller on its own. So actual Geekbench score, this is what we're looking at, a solid 412 and a 1095 multi-core. You do get 2 GB of RAM, which is nice, comparable to the 6 GB you'll be getting on the actual 11 Pro or 12 Pro series. Android 6.0, why bother with the newer versions and all of the instability and issues they bring? The older the better. They're still using the same processor you would find on an iPhone clone from the 6S era. So as the displays get bigger, they save money on the processor. Just think that's funny. They literally will never update this processor. We'll be making these videos 5 years from now and they'll still be using the MT6580, the slowest piece of crap processor ever formulated. All right, so absolutely terrible experience on the speed. The system UI interface, not so bad. I guess last test is let's test that quad camera layout, see what the fourth one offers. I'm not seeing a LiDAR sensor on this clone. Another interesting thing is we do have a little cutout here. This theoretically should be the SIM card tray on the final, and it's not on this clone. Apparently this is a 5G millimeter wave antenna, and we'll see on the final version. But one thing I'd like to point out is it's surprisingly comfortable. The rounded edges on the steel flat sides here make a world of difference in comfort. It doesn't really dig in. It's very pleasant to hold. Actually gives you a little bit more grip in holding the device. I personally find it a little bit more comfortable than the 11 Pro Max. You just have something to dig into. Honestly, not so bad. And I like how sleek it makes your phone feel. Of course, with straight edges, Apple can cram more internals in there. But yeah, let's go ahead and test out the camera. Then we'll come back and do a little teardown. But this is in every way a step back for clones. It's funny how some years they get better, then they go backwards. Older version of Android, just absolutely nothing special about the software. In fact, there are some elements of the software from iOS 10 era. I honestly don't know why they do it. Do people actually use these? So let's test this out. We're in our 3D print lab, been doing a lot of printing. So this is with the front-facing camera. Honestly, one of the coolest things ever is learning about 3D printing. Making cool gadgets for the future of Phone Rebel. So we're working on the wireless charger now. It's hard to focus here. And the next beta of our Rebel series case. This is for the 5.4 inch. I think that one's going to be a very popular option just because of how small it is. Let's go check out the kitties. So here's the mama kitty. Details actually not bad up close. And here is the spawn. Little cute young'uns. It's my favorite one. These are part Maine Coon. I don't know the other part, but they are adorable. There are 3 left unclaimed, if anyone wants to pick one up. Oh, little cutie. So as far as detail goes, not terrible. Still 480p quality. And some greenery. As you can see, pretty much unchanged from the older models, absolutely terrible. And as far as all the other cameras here, I'm not seeing a setting for changing between the lenses, so maybe it's because they're all fake. So this one's plastic, pops off just like that. And the flash, oh wow, that's a lie. So it's not a quad flash, it's a dual flash. And I believe it's just one flash unit with a little filter acting as a amber flash. Okay, and surprisingly removed without breaking. Very similar to the actual structuring of an iPhone 11 Pro. Now the moment of truth. Ah, lies. Indeed, just one minuscule camera module up here. The rest are just duds. And the flash, just two standard LED flashes with completely false coloring on the amber. Lies, everything. All right, so there it is, the iPhone 12 Pro Max clone. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. I don't actually know why they're still even making these. At the very least, it's indicative of what the iPhone 12 Pro Max will feel like, even though it will be just a little bit larger. And yeah, so there it is, the latest pile of crap from China. Let's hope the next version is at least a little bit better. I think they could have done so much better here. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace.